Chapter 517, The Mystery of Cyberspace. It starts at a computer lab in a college university in Gotham Royal York. A college professor and a student were working and Mystery Inc. was there too. Fred, thank you for inviting us over, Professor Kaufman. Professor Kaufman, German accent, it was my pleasure, Fred. Suddenly a machine activated all on its own and fired a ray from it, and it hit Mystery Inc. and beamed them into cyberspace. Professor Kaufman, what happened? Eric, the machine activated on its own. It beamed them into my new and improved game. Professor Kaufman, we're gonna go get some help. At the estate we were relaxing when I got a call on the telephone. Me, answers, hello? Phone garble, oh hello Professor Kaufman. Garbles, what? Oh man. We'll gladly help out, Professor. You called the right people. Hangs up, guys, we've got big trouble. I explain what went down. Lincoln, the Mystery Inc. gang is now in cyberspace. Lori, how did this happen? Me, I don't know. Professor Kaufman and his student Eric are on their way over now. The doorbell rang 10 minutes later and I answered the door. Me, Professor Kaufman. Glad you could come. To Eric, and you are? Eric, I'm Eric Stoffer. It's an honor to meet you, JD. Me, you too, Eric. We go into the simulator room and Professor Kaufman explained what's going on to us. Me, so our friends of the Mystery Inc. gang were beamed into your revised computer game, Eric? Eric, yes, and I know who's responsible for this. Professor Kaufman, as do I. It's our former student Bill McLemore. Me, the creator of the Phantom virus? Eric, yes. Me, but isn't he in prison? Professor Kaufman, yes. We sent him to prison for creating the virus. He was sent to federal prison for 50 years as a result. Laney, but in federal prison he shouldn't have any computer activity. Me, somehow he must have gotten a computer past the guards. Nico, we'll have to pay him a visit to teach him a lesson he'll never forget. Me, you read my mind, Nico. We'll use the simulator to go into Eric's game and help them. Eric, I have a feeling I know what you're about to do. Professor Kaufman, as do I, be careful. Me, will do. We all go into the simulator and Eric and Professor Kaufman hooked up the computer to the simulator. The simulator activated and we were in the first level of Eric's game. Level 1, Carboniferous Period, 10,000 volt ghost. We were in the Carboniferous period. Me, wow. Lincoln, this is incredible. We're in Eric's game. I've always wanted to see what cyberspace is like. Lisa, it's a magnificent marvel. But it feels like we're actually in another world and another time in history. Nicole feels the plants and they looked and felt real. Nicole, the plants feel real. Lainey, they sure do. Where is the first level at it? Me, believe it or not, guys, the first level takes place in the Carboniferous period back 350 million years ago. These are the coal swamps of the Carboniferous. We were in a prehistoric swamp. The humidity levels were at 100%, the oxygen levels were at 30% and the temperature was 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Lori, this is all literally amazing. Lana, so this is what the world was like back then. Huge bugs were everywhere. Lola, ew. These bugs are gross. And you weren't kidding when you said they were this big back then. Lainey, no kidding. Aline, yeah. But this is all amazing. Earth, yes. This is what the continents looked like back then. Earth formed her continents in her hair to what they were back during the Carboniferous period. Lila, strange. Lincoln, I didn't know you can do that, Earth. Earth, I've been around for 4.6 billion years, Lincoln. Everyone, wow. Lincoln, that's amazing. Lori, it literally is. Me, well, let's find our friends. Velma screamed in the distance. Me, looks like we won't have to look very far. Come on. We ran into the forest and we found Velma waist deep in quicksand and Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, Crystal, Scooby and Amber trying to reach her. Me, hey guys. They saw us. Fred, JD, guys, are we glad to see you? Me, same here Fred. Hang on Velma. I fly over to her and I grabbed her hand and pulled her out. Me, are you alright Velma? Velma, yes thanks to you JD. Me, you're welcome Velma. We land with everyone else. Me, Professor Kaufman and Eric informed us about what happened. Fred, yet. How did you guys get in the game? Lainey, Eric hooked up the game to our simulator and we went into the game too. Daphne, we actually went into a game like this before. Lincoln, this happened to you before? Fred, it sure did. Bill created the Phantom virus and beamed us into Eric's previous version of the game. Lucy, we were told about that. Me, somehow he managed to get a computer past the guards in the federal prison and did this to you to get revenge on you. Daphne, that's awful. Very. We're gonna pay a visit to him later and teach him a lesson he will never forget. Fred, good idea. Scooby, Rhea. Rad-a-rurk. Me, you said it Scooby. Suddenly we heard what sounded like electrical buzzing and we saw the first boss of the game, the 10,000 volt ghost. Lainey, whoa. It's a monster made of pure electricity. Fred, that's the 10,000 volt ghost. Lincoln, he looks like he's too hot to handle. Me, I remember him. He was really the Winter Haven electrical power plant worker Mr. Voldner. He and the former mayor of the town, Mayor Dudley, worked together to buy the land of the entire town cheap so they can make a huge profit off the land. Fred, that's right. Lynn, how do you know that JD? Me, I've been all over the planet with Mystery Inc. and I was with them when we were in the town of Winter Haven. Flashback. Me, narrating. Winter Haven is in northwestern Idaho near the Canadian border and is a perfect place to go skiing and it gets really cold there. When we set out to capture the 10,000 volt ghost, I used my lightning powers to overload the suit Mr. Voldner was wearing and it shorted out and burned up. We arrested him and Mayor Dudley afterwards. They were sentenced to 20 to 30 years in prison. Flashback ends. Lincoln, wow. That's amazing. Lucy, we can get this guy. Me, yep. Fred, did you find the box of Scooby snacks on this level? Fred, yes. It's right over there. Points to a rock in the middle of a swamp lake. Lola, it's on the middle of a swamp lake. Lana, I can get it while you distract him. Me, good idea Lana. Lana dove into the swamp and swam for the snacks. I fired my lightning powers and it hit the ghost. Lincoln, Linka, Gabrielle, Nicole, let's use our combo on him. Gabrielle, British accent, you got it Lincoln. Nico, right behind you buddy. Linka, let's get him. Lincoln, Linka, and Gabrielle fired a blast of lightning and Nico used Electro's powers and fired lightning as well. Lincoln, Linka, Gabrielle, and Nico, Saturnian Superbolt Destroyer. The lightning blasts combined and they became a huge lightning bolt and it hit the 10,000 volt ghost and then he exploded and was reduced to burning ashes in an instant with lightning that was 10,000 times more powerful than Earth's. Earth. Lincoln, that was awesome. Lily, it sure was. Arista, that was amazing. Atina, well done Linky. Lincoln, thanks girls. Me, great job buddy. Fred, your powers have come a long way. Lainey, let's not give him a swollen head guys. Me, true. Lana, hey guys. I got the snacks. Lana had the box of Scooby snacks. Me, great job Lana. Then we went to the next level. Level 2, Jurassic Period, Pterodactyl Ghost. We arrived at level 2 and we saw numerous dinosaurs of different types, different plants, some erupting volcanoes and a whole different landscape. Me, wow. Look at all the dinosaurs. Aline, Oh wow. It's like we're back in the land before time. Nicole, this is the Jurassic period. Me, we're in the second level and it takes place in the Jurassic period 150 million years ago. Lincoln, this is amazing. Lucy, wicked. Shannon, I've always wondered what the world of the dinosaurs was like. Lola, same here. JD and Aline told us about what the world of the dinosaurs was like. Lila, true. Fred, this is amazing. The first level of Eric's game was the age of the dinosaurs as well. Linka, it's breathtaking. Fu, we were there with Aline and her friends to help her. Lincoln, I remember that. Sakura, that's amazing. Me, it was Sakura. It was an adventure we'll never forget and that was where we met Aline and friends. Daphne, that's amazing. I'll bet it was an epic adventure. Lori, it was Daphne. Lisa, let's focus on the matter of hand. According to my digital tracer, the box of appetizing energizing treats, street name, Scooby Snacks is on the ledge of that cliff in a pterodactyl nest, points to a nearby cliff. The cliff was a really tall one. Me, all the way up there, hey? Vince, whistles, that's a long way up. Me, but let's get it. Suddenly we heard screeching and we saw flying in the sky a strange humanoid pterodactyl. It was the pterodactyl ghost. Me, that's a strange pterodactyl. Velma, that's the pterodactyl ghost. Me, I remember him. That's actually Jonathan Jacobo. Luan, what did he do? Me, he scared off visitors from Big Canyon in New Mexico so he can do a music piracy operation. Lenny, are there pirates in music? Luna, no dude. Music piracy is where they copy and distribute music illegally. Lisa, exactly third elder sister. Me, you know how you see those FBI warnings at the beginning of videotapes? Luan, yes. Me, piracy is a federal offense. It can land you in prison for 5 to 25 years and fine $250,000. Lori, that's big. Me, not as big as other crimes. Lori, Matadao, you and I will distract him. Matadao, you got it, Lori. Bobby, be careful, babe. Lori, I will boo-boo bear. Lori and Matadao flew into the air and went at the pterodactyl ghost. Me, let's go. We went after the Scooby Snacks. Matadao flew around the pterodactyl ghost and made him dizzy and Lori fired a big blast of wind and sent the pterodactyl ghost spinning. Lori, let's use our combo Matadao. Matadao, you got it, Lori. Lori fired a huge blast of wind and Matadao fired a massive blast of wind as well. Lori and Matadao, Neptune wind cyclone. The winds combined and blew at 1,340 miles per hour. They obliterated the pterodactyl ghost in an instant. Lori, wow. JD wasn't kidding. Neptune's winds are literally incredible. Matadao, they sure are. I had no idea they were that powerful. We got to the nest and Shaggy grabbed the Scooby Snacks. Shaggy, like, I got the snacks. Me, great job, Shaggy. Then we went to the next level. Level 3, the Grand Canyon, Devil Bear. We were at the longest and deepest canyon in North America, the Grand Canyon. Me, the Grand Canyon in Arizona. Sam SL, it's beautiful. Vince, I can't believe it's this breathtaking. Carol, you said it, Vincey. Me, it's 277 miles long, 18 miles wide and 6,093 feet deep. It took 18 million years to form this magnificent canyon and is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Earth, that's right. Lainey, this is amazing. Lana, yelling, hello. Me, don't waste your breath, Lana. An echo wouldn't be heard here at the Grand Canyon. I know. I tried when I was here. Lana, ah. Lori, this place is literally amazing. Daphne, the Grand Canyon is so amazing. Lucy, where's the box of Scooby Snacks? Me, let's see. I look around and saw something that was completely out of the ordinary at this level. I saw a flagpole in the middle of a Native American Indian fort. That flagpole doesn't belong there. The snacks are in that Indian fort. Fred, then that's where we're heading. We then heard roaring and we saw the devil bear. Scooby-Doo, R.H.E. Rival Bear. The devil bear. I remember him. He was really the electrical assistant of Professor Jeff Carver archaeology team. He wanted to steal all the treasure he found for himself. Laney, what a thief. Riley, yet. Laney, Riley, you hold him off while we go for the snacks. Laney, right. Riley, let's get him. They went at the bear while we went for the snacks. Laney used her plant powers and slammed the bear all over the place. Riley formed a cactus rifle and blasted the devil bear in the head and the butt and it hurt bad. He yelped and roared in pain and Laney formed bramble vine whips and they lashed the devil bear. Laney, let's use our combo. Riley. Riley, you got it. Lanes. Laney formed a bunch of vines with cactus balls on the ends and Riley formed a cactus cannon. Laney and Riley, cactus slammer surprise. The cannon fired a giant cactus ball and the cactus vines and cactus balls slammed onto the devil bear and crushed him. Laney, ouch. Riley, that must have really hurt. Fred grabbed the snacks by the flagpole and we went to the next level. Level 4, Fort Knox, Kentucky, the strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate Technicolor Phantoms. The level was now Fort Knox. We were inside the vault that holds all the gold reserves. We're in Fort Knox. Lola, look at all this gold. Lana, there's a lot of it. Lila, there sure is. Ghostly moaning was heard and we saw 3 ghosts. It was the strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate Technicolor Phantoms. Velma, Jinkies. The strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate Phantoms. They represent the 3 most popular flavors of ice cream. I love Neapolitan ice cream just as much as anyone else, but this is too much. Laney, what were they known for? Fred, they were really bank robbers that were led by Sammy the Shrimp, the cleverest hijacker in the country. I've heard about him. He and his henchmen stole an armored car and disguised it as an ice cream truck. Laney, very clever. Lori, the Scooby snacks must be buried in the gold. Lana, we'll hold em off. Lila, let's get them. Nokama, yet. Okay. We went out to search. Lola punched the vanilla phantom and Nokama bashed him with her trident and kicked him in the face. Lana punched the strawberry phantom in the stomach and kicked him in the face and mouth. Lila and punched the vanilla phantom in the mouth and fired a blast of snow at him. Lola, let's use our combo on them guys. Lana, you got it sis. Lola fired a blast of fire and Lila, and Nokama fired water and snow at them. Lola, Lana, Lila, and Nokama baked Alaska Flambe prison. The phantoms were in a tornado of ice and it made a giant cake and then it was lit on fire. Lola sniffs, oh boy. I love baked Alaska Flambe. Lana took a spoon out and blew out the fire and ate it. Lana slurps, delicious. Crystal found the Scooby snacks under a pile of gold. Crystal, I got the Scooby snacks. Amber, all right Crystal. We then went to the next level. Level 5, Lapland, Finland, the star creature. We were in fur parkas and in the cold. Lapland, Finland. We were here on our global trip. Daphne, we heard about that. Let's see. I look around and saw an observatory. On the telescope was the Scooby snacks. There's the Scooby snacks. They're on the telescope. Amber, we'll get 'em. Crystal, right. Okay. A roar was heard and we heard a strange radio hum. We saw a strange crystalline creature. Wow. Look at that guy. Star creature, I am a creature from the stars. Lisa, Getsooks. I never seen an extraterrestrial creature like that one. Daphne, jeepers. It's the star creature. Me, what was he known for? Daphne, he was really Mr. Greenfield. He was trying to steal the secret codes from Star Laboratory with his own telescope. Very, very strange. Nicole, let's get him, girls. Sakura, you got it, Nicole. Lucy, yes. We went for the snacks and Nicole punched the star creature in the face and Sakura punched him in the chest with devastating force. Lucy and Shannon fired a blast of black lightning at the star creature and electrocuted and darkened him. Nicole, let's finish him with our combo, girls. Lucy, right. Shannon, this is gonna be good. Nicole fired a blast of cosmic matter. Sakura fired a blast of fire and Lucy and Shannon fired a blast of black fire and lightning. Nicole, Sakura, Lucy, and Shannon, Cosmic Dragon Flame Destroyer. The blasts combined and turned into a black dragon and hit the creature and completely shattered it into 1,000 pieces. Nicole, that's it for the star creature. Great job, girls. Crystal, I got the snacks, guys. Me, alright, Crystal. We went to the next level. Level 6, Himalayan Mountains, the Caveman. We were in the Himalayan Mountains. Me, the Himalayan Mountains. We were here on our global trip. Lori, and the mountains were literally beautiful. Roaring was heard and we saw a caveman. Shaggy, zoinks. It's the 2,000,000,000-year-old caveman from Ocean Land. Me, incredible. He's a very powerful part of our evolution. Lisa, indeed. He's a Homo erectus, the step in our human evolution before Neanderthals. Me, he's a full-fledged Pleistocene caveman. The caveman roared and tried to bash us with his club and Lynn kicked him in the face and sent him crashing into a rock. Lynn, he's really tough but he's worth the challenge. Me, Fred, what was this caveman known for? Fred, he was really Ocean Land marine researcher Professor Wayne. He dressed up as the caveman to steal Professor Engstrom's invention. A marine life communicator. Aline, that sounds like an interesting device. Lincoln, sounds like it. Me, he has the Scooby snacks in the cave behind him. Lynn, Anna, Carol, Woody, let's get him. Carol, you got it. Lynn punched the caveman in the stomach and Carol kicked him in the face. The caveman tried to swing his club but Woody Woodpecker flew over and pecked his club into sawdust. Woody, guess who? Trademark laugh. You are one ugly caveman. Pecks the caveman's head. Anna was punching the caveman in the face and stomach and she kicked him in the face and knocked out some of his teeth. Anna, let's get him with our combo, girls. Carol, right. Anna fired a blast of lava. Carol fired Godzilla's atomic ray. Woody flew at the caveman and Lynn fired a blast of lava. Anna, Lynn, Carol, and Woody. Volcanic atomic spear peck. Woody was enveloped in a lava suit and he turned into a sparrow with a spear beak made of radioactive lava. The bird speared the caveman and incinerated him in an instant. Lynn, that did it. Woody, oh boy. That was awesome. Carol, it sure was Woody. Me, I got the Scooby snacks. We then went to the next level. Level 7, the White House, Washington, D.C. The ghosts of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. We were in the White House. Me, we're in the White House in Washington, D.C. Naruto, wonder what we're doing here. Me, it's part of the game. Ghostly moaning was heard and we saw the ghosts of George Washington, America's first president, and Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. Velma, Jinkies. It's the ghosts of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Me, two of America's greatest presidents. George Washington was one of America's founding fathers back in the 1700s. Jesse K. and Abraham Lincoln, or Honest Abe as he's called, was the one who ended slavery. Me, yet. My ancestral uncle was Abraham Lincoln's best friend. Abraham Lincoln's ghost, And who are you, young man? Me. My name is J.D. Knudsen, and I am the great-grandnephew of Charles Sumner, Senator of Massachusetts during yours and James Buchanan's presidency. Abraham Lincoln's ghost. So you are. I take it you know about his assault. Me? Yes. Senator of South Carolina Preston Brooks assaulted him back in 1859. Preston Brooks wanted slaves to remain as slaves where Charles Sumner wanted slavery to be abolished. Abraham Lincoln's ghost. Yes, you are correct. Do you know how I died? Me. I sure do. You and Mary Todd Lincoln were at the Ford Theater and John Wilkes Booth shot you in the back of the head with a Derringer pistol. He jumped down onto the stage from your balcony and yelled the infamous phrase "Sic Semper Tyrannis." Lana, what does that mean? Me. It's Latin for thus always to tyrants. It was first used when Julius Caesar was killed by Brutus over 2,000 years ago. Everyone at the theater thought it was part of the play, but when everyone heard the news, it was a shock to the country. They hunted down John and found him 12 days later at a rural farm in Northern Virginia. Union soldier Boston Corbett shot and killed him and burned the whole barn to the ground. The 8 conspirators who helped him were arrested. John Wilkes Booth killed President Lincoln because he wanted slaves to be slaves forever. 4 of his helpers were executed by hanging and the others were condemned to prison for the rest of their lives. Lincoln. That's really fascinating. I didn't know that you were related to a historical senator. Me. It's a long history. Velma, when you encountered the ghosts of 2 of America's greatest presidents, who were they really? Velma. They were really the ambassador of Klopstokia and his wife. They were trying to steal secrets from the United States of America. Me. An espionage plot. Jesse K. They were like the Rosenbergs. Carol. I've read a lot about the Rosenbergs. Back in the 1950s during the Cold War, they were arrested for stealing secrets on America's nuclear weapons designs and transmitting them to Russia. They were spies. Jesse K. That's right, and they were executed back in 1953. Me. Good riddance to bad rubbish. 65-year rubbish. Lincoln? Yep. Abraham Lincoln's ghost? Yes, indeed. You are indeed great people for our country, but I'm afraid we have to make sure you don't get the item behind us. Me. We can try, Mr. Presidents. Jesse. Roxanne. Let's get them. Roxanne. With pleasure, come on guys. Ramon. Right. Laurie's kids came and we went at them while Shaggy went for the Scooby snacks. Laurie's kids dealt numerous punches and kicks to them and pulverized them. Jesse K punched Abraham's ghost in the face and kicked Washington's ghost in the stomach, and I did the same. Me. Let's use our combo, guys. Jesse K. Got it, Dad. Jesse and Laurie's children fired a huge blast of wind and I fired a blast of light. Me. Jesse K and Laurie's children. Or a wind cut storm. The blasts combined and became a razor-sharp curtain of light, and it cut the ghosts into pieces. Shaggy. Like. I got the snacks, guys. We then went to the next level. A montage plays to show the fights with all of the gang's most frightening enemies. Level 8 was Dublin, Ireland, and we faced the Wax Phantom. The Wax Phantom was really Roger Stevens, the KLMN TV station manager. He embezzled all the money from the station and planned to fly to South America with it. Aline, Tehu, and Bakama faced him and melted him with their combo called Inferno Firestorm Meltdown. It melted him and evaporated him in an instant. Level 9 was Point Spencer Air Force Base, Indiana, Alaska, and we faced the spooky Space Kook, who was really Henry Bascom, who was scaring a farmer and an Air Force into buying their lands cheap. Nate Tiley, Sam M, Danny Phantom, and Lee blasted him with their combo called Ghost Fire Skull Storm. It incinerated him instantly. Level 10 was the Beijing National Stadium in China, where the 2008 Summer Olympics were held, and we faced Fireball McFan, a super athlete known for mastering a lot of sports. He disappeared 50 years ago. He was really Jesse Finster and Mr. Griffith's twin brother, who wanted to buy the school Velma liked cheap and turn it into a gambling operation. Lynn, Lightning, Anna, and Lincoln used a combo called Volcanic Sprinter Hellfire. It was an attack which turns lightning into the form of Fireball McFan made of lava and pure fire, and it incinerated him in an instant. Level 11 was in Shark Bay, Australia, and we faced the Demon Shark. The Demon Shark was really Mr. Wells, who was a pearl thief. Luna, Heidi, Lily, and Girl Jordan used a combo called Maelstrom Slicer Sawblade. It slashed apart the Demon Shark into a million bloody and gory pieces. Level 12 was in Athens, Greece, and we faced the Minotaur, a mythological creature that's half man half bull. He was really Nick Pappas, who wanted to intimidate the natives to steal treasure. Lucy, Lenny, and Lisa used a combo called Dark Sword Blade Dance. It slashed apart the Minotaur into a million pieces. Level 13 was in Plymouth, Wisconsin, the cheese capital of the world, in a major cheese factory. We faced the cheese monster. He was a monster made entirely out of melted cheese. He was really Larry P. Acme, the owner of the Acme Dog Biscuit Company, and back when Mystery Inc. were kids they stopped him. He was going to force the Scooby Snack Factory out of business and use the Scooby Snack secret formula on his own dog biscuits. Luan, Eddie, Lindsay, and Lincoln used a combo called Lightning Rainbow Griller, which turned the attack into a giant sandwich griller, and they made 2 giant slices of bread and put the monster in it and turned it into a giant grilled cheese sandwich. Enough to feed 50 people. It was one way to grill some cheese. Level 14 was in the famous Coney Island amusement park in New York, home of the best hot dogs in the United States. There they faced Zombo the Ghost Clown. He was really Joey Jeepner, who tried to scare his siblings away so he could improve his family's amusement park, Jeepner's Joyland, and own it all by himself. Shannon, Lenny, and Venom used a combo called Ivy Slasher Spiderweb, and it went all the way through Zombo and slashed him to pieces. Level 15 was in the coldest town in the world, Oymyakon, Russia. This town is in northern Siberia in Russia, and the temperature can plummet to -90 degrees. We faced the Ice Demon. The Ice Demon was really a park ranger, Mr. Forrester, who found diamonds in a mine, and he wanted to scare everyone away and not only force a hotel and lodge out of business but also keep the diamonds for himself. Lana, Kopaka, and Nuju used a combo called Snowflake Razor Massacre. It was a giant razor-sharp snowflake shuriken that shattered the Ice Demon into 1,000 pieces. Level 16 was in the Warm Springs Indian Reservation in Oregon. We faced the Totem Monster, who was really Mr. Ryan. He tried to scare everyone off the reservation because he found ancient Native American artwork and he wanted to keep it all for himself. Mary, Luan, and Woody used a combo called Light Candy Catapult, and they bombarded the Totem Monster with candy that exploded on contact. Level 17 was in the Pilgrim Bark Park in Provincetown, Massachusetts. One of the best dog parks in the country. We faced the ghost of Buster McMutt-Muller. Buster McMutt-Muller was the worst dog catcher of them all, and he loved being cruel to all animals. His ghost was really Mr. Tricks-n-Stuff, a dog trainer who wanted to steal the Dew family's ugly dog collar for the jewels. Lana, Beast Boy, Aqua, and Biza used a combo called Wolfpack Maelstrom Massacre, and it mauled him to death with the deadly power of water and one of nature's most powerful forces, a pack of wolves. When it comes to animals, Lana will rip you apart. Level 18 was in Paris, France. Lainey's favorite city in the world. We faced the living hair monster Bigwig. He was really restaurateur Krusty Baker, who dressed up as Bigwig to close down an arcade Daphne's father owned because they were too noisy and it was driving his customers away. Bobby, Lori, and Ronnie Ann used a combo called Crystal Firework Scissor Storm, where a giant pair of crystal scissors would cut Bigwig up into little hair pieces. Turns out Bigwig was all hair. Level 19 was in the famous Alcatraz Island prison in San Francisco, California. Alcatraz was loaded with history, and it was shut down in 1963 because of high money costs. But it was home to America's most dangerous criminals in the early and middle 20th century. We faced the San Fran Psycho, who was really Rudy Banez. She wanted to ruin the grind games because she wasn't allowed to compete because she was a girl and a bad skateboarder. Lincoln and Earth used a combo called Earth's Beauty Obliterator, and it completely obliterated him in a huge explosion that looked like planet Earth. Level 20 was in Roswell, New Mexico, the capital of extraterrestrial intelligence. It was there we faced the Wakamai bird, a giant eagle bird. It was a legend fabricated by COL Henry Thornwald, who was protecting a secret project. Girl Jordan, and Starfire used a combo called Star Water Lightning Storm, and it reduced the Wakamai bird to ashes in an instant. Level 21 was in Los Angeles, California, and we were there to face the Titanic Twist. The Titanic Twist was actually a very dangerous wrestling move that was so terrifyingly devastating that it was outlawed in the sport completely after the first time it was used. It left that wrestler so badly deformed, disfigured, and mangled up that it killed him. The ghost of the wrestler was really Kurt and Connie Crunch, who only wanted to make sure that their father, famous wrestler Malachi Crunch, wouldn't get hurt. They were just looking out for their dad. Thanks to them, he retired from wrestling. Lightning, Cyborg, Ben as forearms, and Jared used a combo called Flaming Twister Incinerator, and the combo incinerated the Titanic Twist into ashes instantly. Level 22 was in the Louisiana Bayou, and we were facing the Gator Ghoul. In reality, it was really Alice Dovely, who was fired from her job at the Coca-Cola Company, and she tried to steal the formula for the popular soda drink of Ma and Pa Skillet called Fenoki Fizz. Nate, Tylee, Mindy, Isabel, Dana, and Raven used a combo on the Gator Ghoul called Spirit Flame Raven Murder, and it incinerated the Gator Ghoul in an instant. Level 23 is in Mexico City, Mexico, and we were there to face Old Iron Face, who 140 years ago was believed to be the ghost of an inmate that the warden of a prison hated with a terrible vengeance because of his rotten attitude that he welded an iron mask onto his face so he could never see his ugly face. But in reality, it was really cafe owner Mama Mayone, a retired champion waterskier. She was the owner of Mama Mayone Cafe. But that is just a front. She was smuggling convicts out of the Skull Island prison, and she dressed up as Old Iron Face to scare people away. Bobby, Ronnie Ann, and Vulcana used a combo called Flaming Blowtorch Incinerator, which burned him in half and killed instantly. Level 24 was in Pitch Lake, Trinidad. This is one of the most perfectly preserved tar pits in the world, next to the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. We faced a living blob of tar called the Tar Monster, and he was an ugly monstrosity. He was really Mr. Stoner, the assistant of an archaeologist who wanted to find the treasure of a lost city for himself. Cole, Luan, and Maria used a combo called Prism Light Corrosion, which fired a rainbow light at the monster and it melted it and evaporated it. Level 25 was in Carlsbad Caverns, New Mexico. One of the most beautiful caves in North America, and the film set for Journey to the Center of the Earth from 1959. We faced the Creeper. He was really the bank president, Mr. Carl Swell, who robbed the local bank, and the bank guard had evidence of him doing it. Tara, Sora, Carrie, and Riley used a combo called Ice Dragon Cave Skewer, and it formed a cave full of icicles and skewered him everywhere and killed him in an instant. Level 26 was in 5 Color Falls in Colombia, and it was called that because the rocks have algae on them that make the rocks in 5 different colors. It was there that we were facing Jaguaro. It was a legendary creature that had the head of a saber-toothed cat and the body of a gorilla. It was really Barney, and he dressed up like Jaguaro to smuggle diamonds out of Brazil. Nico's Aquilamin, Argent, and Vince used a powerful combo on it called Eagle Planet Crystal Slicer, and it slashed apart Jaguaro and killed him. Level 27 was in Black Hawk, Colorado. One of Colorado's great gambling towns in Colorado's heartland, and it was a mining town, and the food is great. There we faced the miner 49ER, who is believed to be an ancient miner from 1849. He was really Hank, who wanted to scare off workers in an old west town to buy it cheap for the oil underneath it. Nico, Lynn, Bobby, and Pahut who used a combo on him called Volcanic Gold Rush, and it encased the miner in gold and petrified him in time for all eternity. Level 28 was over in Portland, Maine, which is one of the East Coast's most important fishing ports, and they have some of the best lobster in America. We faced the ghost of Captain Redbeard, a pirate who was known as the Terror of the Seven Seas. But in reality he was really CL Magnus, who stole his own shipping cargo for insurance money. Luna, Mindy, Golly, and Lily first engaged him in a powerful sword fight with swords made of pure water, and then they used a combo on him called Mermaid Water Doom Whirl, and they drowned him in a tornado of pure water as it sang in a divine song. Level 29 was over in Chesapeake Bay, Maryland. One of the great fishing spots and home to the best clam chowder in the country. We faced the ghost of Captain Cutler, who was wearing a diving suit glowing because of glowing seaweed. Strangest part was that Captain Cutler never died. He faked his death so that he and his wife would smuggle yachts and paint them over. Girl Jordan, Nokama, and May used a combo on him called Furious Ice Flame Maelstrom, and it blew him apart in a vortex of frozen fire. Level 30 was over in the famous Windsor Castle in London, England. A castle that is over 500 years old and home to the infamous Tudor family. It was also home to Gabrielle's ancestors. It was there that they faced the Black Knight. The Black Knight was really the caretaker of a museum, Mr. Wickles, who was doing an art forgery scheme. Lincoln, Linka, and Anna used a combo on the Black Knight called Lightning Soccer Bulldozer, and it blew apart the Black Knight into 1,000 pieces with a powerful explosion of lightning. Level 31 was in the island of Bermuda. It was one of the beautiful vacation spots of the world. It was there that we faced the Skeleton Men, one-eyed skeleton monsters. They were really Dr. Grimsley and his henchmen who were hijacking weather-eyed planes to sell them overseas. Lainey, Riley, and Ben as Wildvine used a combo called Poison Vine Acid Rain, and it dissolved the Skeleton Men with highly concentrated sulfuric acid. Level 32 was in Rattlesnake Canyon in Colorado. It was located on the border between Utah and Colorado, and it was home to some of the most beautiful rock arches in the American West. It was there that we faced evil clones of Mystery Inc. They looked just like the gang, but they had glowing red eyes and superhuman strength. The evil clones were really JC, Chase, and 4 extras. Chase was jealous of Shaggy because his girlfriend Rachel talking about all of Shaggy's exploits at school. So he and the extras dressed up as the evil clones and attacked people at Lover's Lane so they would be framed and locked in prison with their reputations ruined. Venom, Static, Rachel, Talia, and Lisa used a combo on them called Sonic Lightning Web Evisceration, and it killed the clones by electrocuting them to death. Now it was time for the final fight. The final level was in the hometown of Mystery Inc., Coolsville. Me. So the final level is your hometown, Coolsville. Fred, yes. This is the toughest level of all. Shaggy, but like the cyber food is great. Scooby, Rhea. Naruto, this is gonna be interesting. Sakura, it sure is. Suzuki, I hope we make it out of this all right. Me, we will Suzuki. Let us help you all. 3 figures arrived. It was Sam Flynn, Quora, and Kevin Flynn. Lola, Sam Flynn, Quora, and Mr. Flynn. Quora, it's great to see you again, Lola. Lola, you too, Quora. Sam F, it's a pleasure to meet you, JD. Me, you too, Sam. I've heard so much about you. Sam F, it's mutual. Kevin F, it's an honor to meet you, JD. Me, you too, Kevin. Looks like we have a reunion. We turned and saw a man that was dressed in glowing orange clothes, and he looked like a younger version of Kevin Flynn. Me, who are you? Kevin F, that's a program I created. His name is CLU. Me, another computer virus. What does this one intend to do? Kevin F, he wants to invade Earth so he can enslave the users. Lola, he wants to destroy all of us. Me, that's insane. We use computers for our everyday use, and that's the ultimate fate, worse than death. The Phantom virus appeared. He was a humanoid made of pure electrical energy. Me, so you are the Phantom virus. Phantom virus, that's right, and I'm ready for you all. Mystery Inc. I will have my revenge on you for locking up my creator. Velma, he deserved to be locked up. Crystal, he must pay for his crimes in prison. Amber, he deserved it too. Me, and now we will stop you both once and for all. CLU, the Phantom virus isn't the only one who can summon backup. Come to me, my revenge squad. Long shadows began to come to CLU and the Phantom Virus aid, and then figures began emerging from them, like they were waiting for his signal. The Redemption Squad recognized the figures coming from the shadows. They were the deadliest enemies of their rogues gallery. Electro appeared in a bolt of lightning and smirked at Elena, electricity sparking around him. Evan came out of a shadow portal, glaring at Rubber Band Man. Freddy Krueger appeared from a burst of fire and waved at Ace mockingly with his clawed hand. Madame Rouge laughed sadistically as she increased the size of her fist to humongous proportions. Hydro Man emerged from the water and formed giant, aquatic fists. Morgana also came out of the water and smiled at Frightwig menacingly. Xana, in the form of William's Dark Lyoko form, took out his sword with the block, Cancrelith, and Crab appearing by his side. Shiv cackled insanely as he turned his arms into light blades. Sabretooth readied his claws and snarled, hatred gleaming in his eyes. Leonard the Pig King landed on the ground with a huge thud and laughed evilly. Atrocitus came out of a blood-red portal and pointed his red lantern ring at Bleeze. Pennywise honked his big red nose and glowered at Breach. Pyro created flames from his hands as he grinned at Lee evilly. Skulker phased out of the ground and got his weapons out. Bane punched the ground, causing huge cracks to appear in the ground. Xehanort appeared out of a dark portal and brandished Keyblade. Firefly landed and aimed his heat lasers at Francis. Vulture flapped his wings and landed next to Electro. Lizard hissed in hostility and whipped his tail around. Six flew above them, pointing a finger accusingly at Stucker. Riot snarled viciously and roared, his tongue sticking out of his mouth. Evil Stewie stared at Stewie with an evil grin, his blaster at his side. Vexen walked out of a portal of darkness, summoning his shield and aiming it at Killer Frost as ice crystals gather around him. And last, but most definitely not least, was Dark Danny, flying down to the ground in front of the group of villains with maniacal laughter. Dark Danny, ha 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 ha. Oh, Knudsen, this is going to be fun. Just think of the ways I can kill you and your friends here. It's going to be an amazing experience. For me at least. Me, it's every single bad guy we've beaten. Ink, I didn't expect to see so many villains. Lincoln, me neither. Maria, we beat these jerks before. And we can do it again. Ben, this revenge squad is just like what me, Gwen and Grandpa Max faced in my dimension. Me, what was that Ben? Ben, they were called the -10 and they were some of my most dangerous enemies. Their leader was a member of the Forever Knights named Driscoll. He was a rogue plumber that became the leader of the Forever Knights. He and his assistant the Forever Ninja formed the -10. The members were the Circus Freaks, Sublimino, Charmcaster, Rojo, Clancy, and Dr. Animo. Frightwig, that's right. I was a member of the -10. Me, so they were your version of Spider-Man's Sinister Six. Ben, that's right. Me, this is gonna be the ultimate fight. Fred, you take the gang into the arcade and get the last box of Scooby snacks. We'll hold them off while you do. Fred, but what about you guys? Me, we'll be fine. Just go. Mystery Inc. avoided most of the villains as they tried to rush at the Phantom Virus. Suddenly, Freddy Krueger appeared in front of them in a burst of fire. Freddy Krueger, sorry, Mystery Inc. But this is the end of the line for you. About to slash at them. Suddenly a boulder came at Krueger and knocked him to the ground. Mystery Inc. turned to see that Ace had thrown the boulder with her powers. Ace, I'll take care of him. You guys just focus on getting that box of Scooby snacks. Daphne, grateful thanks, Ace. Ace, you're welcome Daphne. Me, let's power up guys. We transformed and got ready. The Phantom Virus and CLU fled into the arcade. Mystery Inc. was about to follow them, then hesitated, glancing back at their friends. They couldn't just leave them here. Maria, fighting against Hydro Man guys. You do what you need to do. We can fight these villains. Mystery Inc. stared at Maria for a second, her words reaching through the cloud of doubt. They nodded and then ran after CLU and the Phantom Virus, determined to win this battle. Venom punches Bane scream. You, Lasher, Phage, and Toxin go help Mystery Inc. get that Scooby Snacks box. Scream, what about you? Venom webs Bane up, don't worry. We'll be fine. Craven throws knife at Skulker Calypso, go help Mystery Inc. Me and the others will handle things here. Calypso, are you sure? Craven, I'm sure. After all, I have fought Skulker before. Fuzzy, to his nephews as he punches Lizard Boys, you go help Mystery Inc. beat those viruses. Cuzzy, what about you, Uncle Fuzzy? Fuzzy, don't worry. Uncle Fuzzy will be fine against Lizard Lips. Maria waited a moment for Mystery Inc. to get out of there before turning back to Hydro Man. Hydro Man was surprisingly well trained in hand-to-hand combat, holding his own against her. Not to mention that he was keeping his distance from Maria, meaning that she won't be able to absorb him this time. But Maria wasn't going to let that stop her. Hydro Man was made of water, so she used that to her advantage. Suddenly, she made gestures with her hands, making Hydro Man freeze in place. He then screamed as Maria used her powers to rip him apart water molecule by water molecule. Maria, to the others, all right, everyone. Mystery Inc.'s going to handle the Phantom Virus and CLU with Cuzzy, Wuzzy, Scuzzy, Calypso, and the Symbiote Squad's help. So we have to make sure that none of these villains get a chance to interfere. Got it? Frightwig uses her hair to slam Morgana to the ground, no need to tell me twice. Me, you got it. CLU, you are mine. CLU, so it shall be. CLU unsheathed a light sword and we both engaged in a powerful sword fight. Sparks were flying everywhere and setting some of the city on fire. Lee used his keyblade to slash Pyro's stomach open, making him pale and fall unconscious. Lee, I gotta admit, our former buddies are a bunch of pansies. Mindy, tell me about it. Francis used his flamethrower to blast Firefly, causing him to crash to the ground. Francis, tell me about it too, Lee. Looks at Venom, who just snapped Bane's neck. For all the trouble that JD and the others get into with these guys, our former pals sure are pushovers. The Redemption Squad looked at all of the defeated villains. Elena, I don't mean to jinx us, but that was too easy. Breach, I agree, Elena. Something isn't right here. Sandman, I have a bad feeling about this. Please, wait. I don't see Xana and Xehanort anywhere. Xian, Riku and William are gone as well. Cheetah, Xana and Xehanort must have gone after Mystery Inc. And William and Riku probably went after them. Stewie, then we better catch up to them. Suddenly, Stewie dodged a blast from Evil Stewie, who got back up as his injuries healed. Stewie, shocked what the deuce? The Redemption Squad watched as all the villains slowly rose to their feet, now staring at them with malevolent eyes. Electro smiled insanely at Elena as the hole in his chest healed up. Bane snapped his neck in place as he cracked his knuckles. Hydro Man's water molecules reformed his body as he snarled at Maria. Rubber Band Man, uneasily okay. So, these guys aren't staying down. Teresa, no day, Sherlock. The only question is why. Arpeggio, Hypothetically speaking, since CLU summoned these villains, they could possibly be connected to his consciousness, and will only cease their attacks if he and the Phantom Virus are incapacitated. Killer Frost, in English, please. Stucker, what Arpeggio is saying is that our former comrades will not stop trying to kill us until Mystery Inc. defeat the Phantom Virus and CLU. Clayface, that means we have to hold out until that happens. Maria, Mystery Inc. will win. We just have to wait for them to get the Scooby Snacks box. Alright, Redemption Squad, let's take 'em down. Velma, sees the arcade. Looks like we're gonna have to battle the phantom virus in there again. Fred, alright. Let's. A dark portal opened in front of them as Xehanort stepped out. Daphne? Oh no. Not him. Xehanort, Mystery Inc. It's true that you've all survived costumed crooks before. But this will be your final battle. Not to worry, though. I'll make sure JD. Knudsen and his friends watch as I rip your hearts from your bodies. XANA, don't be too sure, Xehanort. Everyone turns to see Xana walking towards them. XANA, all of the digital realm is my domain. And this world is no exception. If anyone is going to destroy Mystery Inc., it will be me. Xehanort, you? Ending Mystery Inc.? Laughs, please. Unlike you, I have caused all the worlds to suffer with the help of Organization 13 and the Heartless. You're just a computer virus who has only attacked one country, which is France. You don't have the right to destroy Mystery Inc. Xana raises an eyebrow. This coming from the old man who lets his lackeys do the fighting for him? At least I've personally fought the Lyoko warriors through my possessed victims occasionally. As the two villains argued, Mystery Inc. tried to figure out a way to get to the Phantom Virus and CLU while evading both of villains in front of them. But before they could come up with a plan, a blast of lightning hit XANA, knocking him back. Meanwhile, a dark fireball hit Xehanort, knocking him down. Mystery Inc. saw William and Riku there. Fred, William, Riku, what are you two doing? William, we're helping you guys, Fred. Me and Riku can handle these guys. You just deal with CLU and the Phantom Virus. Riku, to Scooby you get that box, Scooby. You've earned it. Scooby, Ruke, Riku. As Mystery Inc. ran into the arcade, William and Riku got their weapons ready as XANA and Xehanort got back up. Maria avoids a laser blast from Evil Stewie Frystwig. Take out 6-6's weapons. Venom, hold off Vulture. Make sure he doesn't attack anyone's weak points. Evil Stewie fired his flamethrower at Maria, who dodged it. She then formed a ball of water over Evil Stewie and watched as he drowned in it. Maria panted for air as she surveyed the carnage around her, feeling more tired than she ever had in any fight in her life. Me, don't give up guys. We've been through tougher situations than this. Ben because Lodestar and he was using his magnetic powers to scramble some of the villains up. So far, the Redemption Squad had fought off 20 consecutive waves of enemies, and every time the villains would rise back up, no matter how severe their injuries were. Stewie had vaporized Hydro Man and watched as water pooled together and reformed him. Breach had used her portals to send Evan into the sun, only to see him crash back down on Earth almost immediately after. Lee had even sliced off Riot's head at one point, and the evil symbiote responded by grabbing his head and reattaching it in a matter of seconds. The fighting just seemed unending, no matter what they did. Even though the other heroes didn't say a word about it, Maria could see the weariness in her friends' movements. Everyone's attacks had slowed, and even Venom was getting tired. They were all getting tired of the constant fighting, and soon, there would be a wave of villains that they couldn't overcome. A yell of pain shook her from her thoughts, diverting her attention to somewhere behind her. Sabretooth had gotten the upper hand against Kraven, and had him locked in a chokehold. Maria took a deep breath in, collecting herself, and fired a blast of water at the evil mutant, making him let go of Kraven. Kraven got his spear out and threw it through Sabretooth, ripping him in half. Kraven gave a quick nod to Maria, and then turned to help Xian with Vexen. Maria looked around her. In a moment of anguish, she nearly succumbed to her weariness, but immediately overcame it, standing tall again. Maria, we'll hold out, guys. Just do what you guys need to do and we'll handle the rest. William avoided a swing from his old Lyoko sword as it was being wielded by Xana. XANA, now what do we have here? Why, that's William Dunbar. Oh, you've grown so much. I knew you being under my command would make you into a fine leader. William, you know, I didn't really appreciate you brainwashing me the first time around. And besides, can't you pick a more unpredictable form? I already know my Lyoko abilities inside and out. XANA, but you haven't been in your Lyoko form for a long time. You only had to rely on your Lyoko friends and JD Knudsen in order to defeat me both times. And even then, you didn't land the finishing blow. What hope do you have against me now, all alone with no help? William, well, first of all, when you brainwashed me, you had to have the Cyphozoa do it for you. And even then, that was when I was just starting out. You don't have any of those factors on your side this time. Especially since I've grown since then. 2. J.DS with me. So do you really think that you have a chance of getting out of this fight alive? Especially since you're already sealed in the Book of Vile Darkness? And 3. Grins. I have a much better look than you. Seriously, dark jumpsuits really aren't a good fashion statement. XANA growled and swung his sword at William. But he dodged it and fired a blast of ice from his blaster, freezing XANA temporarily. As Xana began to break out of the ice, William's thoughts went to Mystery Inc. William, XANA breaks out of the ice, hang in there, guys. You can do this. We were engaged in a savage and brutal fight to the finish. We used combo attack after combo attack. Venom and Rubber Band Man used one called Black Rubber Web Skewer on Bane and Evan, and it skewered them both in a black web of pure rubber. Fuzzy and Elena used a combo called Lightning Meat Destroyer on Lizard and Electro. This turned them into shocking meats. Teresa and Stewie used a combo called Sonic Laser Storm on Vulture and Evil Stewie, and they reduced them to dust. Lee and Craven used a combo called Fire Lion Massacre on Pyro and Skulker, and it incinerated them in an instant. Combo after combo was unleashed on them. Ink was facing Madame Rouge and she was pulverizing her with extreme viciousness. Rika clashed Keyblades with Xehanort before the silver-haired boy kicked the old man back. Riku, did you really think I forgot about what you did to me? You corrupted me into your dark pawn and possessed me. And now you're trying to kill me and my friends again? Haven't you learned from past mistakes? Xehanort, the only mistake I made was not killing you and Sora when I had the chance. But this time, Sora isn't with you. Are you prepared to meet your end knowing that my allies will kill your friends? Riku, if you think your allies can defeat my friends, you're wrong. And after spending so much time with JD, I think I can take you on alone. As Riku charged at Xehanort again, he thought of Mystery Inc. Riku fires a sphere of darkness at Xehanort. Come on, guys. Finish those two viruses off. In the arcade, as Nico was facing the phantom virus, he was really putting on a workout. He was completely covered in sweat and panting as his energy was almost drained. Scooby then got the drop on the virus and he grabbed the Scooby Snacks box. The phantom virus saw this and he knew that his days were numbered. CLU, angry, I won't be defeated. I've worked so hard, lose like this. I won't be defeated. Never. Tries to punch Scooby but his hand faded from his existence. No. No. I can't lose, not like this. His entire body begins to fade. Curse you, Mystery Inc. Curse. His voice began losing volume as his chest faded, until all that was left was his head, now floating in air as it stared down at Scooby. Who are you? Looks at Scooby as if he was some kind stranger. Who am I? Please, I'm so confused. I don't. And with that, CLU's head faded away. Maria, Lee, and Rubber Band Man stood in front of the unconscious heroes, barely having enough strength to stand. Surrounding them, the Revenge Squad villains leered and snarled at them, all of them looking practically like zombies. The heroes had lasted for 50 waves before the first of them, Teresa, was taken down. Soon, Killer Frost, Elena, and Clayface fell as well. Then, in a moment of despair for the heroes, JD, Nico, Fuzzy, and Venom were knocked out on the 60th wave. The tide had turned. They had survived for 15 more waves before everyone else was knocked unconscious. The 3 of them had fought for 5 more waves, but now they were feeling more exhausted than they had in their entire lives. Lee growls in between breaths. All right. I'm going in. I'll take as many of the idiots down with me as I can. You try and get everyone else out of here. Maria, Pants, we're not leaving you. We'll stay and fight with you. Rubber Band Man grins tiredly. No offense, Lee. But I only take orders from Maria and William. So good luck getting me to leave. Lee smiles grimly. Fair enough. Let's take these scumbags down, to the villains as he summons his Keyblade again. Hey, idiots. Come here. I've got a death sentence for all of you. The villains roared and charged the heroes. The final 3 heroes braced themselves, ready for the inevitable. What they weren't ready for was all of the villains suddenly disappearing, like they had never existed. Lee, what they... looks around. What the heck was that? Rubber Band Man, eyes widen. Scooby and the others. Grins at Maria and Lee. They won. Remember what Arpeggio said? He said those villains would only be defeated when CLU and the Phantom Virus are beaten. That means Mystery Inc. beat them. They did it. Maria smiles. I knew they could do it. Nothing's ever stopped them before. Lee smirks. Well, they sure picked a convenient time to win. For a second there, I thought they were goners. Rubber Band Man, well, I'm just glad that they won against the Phantom Virus again. Lee, me too. So much for the Revenge Squad. CLU should have picked a better name. Maria, well, either way, CLU won't bother us again. I think we should go to Burpin Burger to celebrate. XANA punched Wilalam, knocking him to the ground. XANA sneers at his former servant. Well, William, it's been a pleasure, but I'm afraid I have to take care of some important business. And after Mystery Inc.'s dead, your girlfriend is next. William growls. You stay away from Maria, you monster. But despite his words, William could only brace himself as Xana slashed at him. But just as XANA swung his sword down, he vanished. William, what they... In realization, they did it. Mystery Inc. won. Raises his fist in celebration, and then looked over at the arcade. Knew you could do it. Good job, guys. Riku kneed Xehanort hard in the chest, feeling a small sense of satisfaction as he felt ribs break. Grabbing Xehanort's head, he lifted him into the air and slammed him into the floor. A sickening crunch filled the air, and Xehanort screamed in pain. Riku stood up and watched in amusement as the old man tried to crawl away from him. Grabbing Xehanort by the neck, he lifted him up and stared him in the eyes. Xehanort, tears of pain falling out of his eyes. Please, have mercy. Riku, coldly. I told you I was going to make you pay. Points his keyblade at Xehanort's head. Don't say I didn't warn you. Just as Riku was about to penetrate Xehanort's head, the old man suddenly disappeared. Riku instantly dropped into a defensive crouch, unsure of what had just happened. Then, he looked over at the arcade, and he put 2 and 2 together. Riku, Mystery Inc. won. They beat CLU and the Phantom Virus. But they couldn't have waited 5 seconds longer. I had Xehanort. Grins, well. It couldn't be helped. Good job, guys. Just make sure that doesn't happen again. Because I don't think anyone wants to deal with that again. We got up and we were tired as all get out. But we won the game and left the simulator with Mystery Inc. and Professor Kaufman and Eric were so glad that we were okay. We just had one loose end to tie up. At a federal prison, Bill was typing on a computer laughing malevolently. Guard, Bill, you have a visitor. Bill, who is it? But he saw Nico with Tuura's staff of fear and he was scared. Nico, you look scared, Bill. Get used to it. Nico fired a blast from the staff and not only terrified him but also cursed him. He turned him into an undead zombie, and he was cursed with being an undead zombie with unbearable pain and agony. But also he was transferred to our newest prison we built, the Mars prison for cyber terrorists. Eric's game was endorsed by us and it became a major success and more. It made tens of millions of dollars in sales in just a few hours. Even we bought it for our video game consoles. All the Scooby-Doo villains from the game were sealed into the Book of Vile Darkness. We kept them into the game as part of its programming and deleted CLU and the Revenge Squad from it. It was an even more greater success than ever. We also made copies of the costumes of the villains for use for Halloween later on, and we made them as trophies, and we also made statues and a museum of all of Mystery Inc.'s achievements. The exhibit was called The Greatness of Mystery Inc. It was a highly successful and popular activity among children in schools and daycare centers. We also made a call watch for calling Mystery Inc. whenever needed. The end. Another fanfiction complete. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase was an awesome movie, and it took us on an awesome journey through cyberspace. But it just goes to show that even the internet, cyberspace, and all things in the computer can be a very dangerous place. The game created in that movie was awesome, and if it were a real game it would be the most fun one ever. Nico-chan11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks for that, man. Scooby-Doo is a series I have known for years, ever since I was a little kid. All the monsters they faced were awesome. Also, everything I said about Charles Sumner is all true. I am in real life related to him. He was my ancestral uncle during the American Civil War. But that's on my dad's side of the family. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.